All right. All right. So welcome everyone to Treasure Valley 2023. It's been a great staff week. We have just gotten into our first week of program. Our first campers came through the door. Week one is a smaller week. We have 4 units plus a good sized Provo unit. So everyone's having a great time and we got everybody in safely and smoothly. So we're excited to welcome you through our gates week 3. So Cam, why don't you move that ahead? All right, so lots of you have been sending me updated numbers for Scouts, so I appreciate that. And at that time, even if you're going to add people in the next couple of weeks or extra adults, just save it and bring a check to check-in, and we will take care of all of that at that point. So no need to mail it into the council office. There's a lot going on, so you can just give it to our clerk when she meets you on Sunday. For those of you that have logged into our Remind system before, we ended up updating it. So this is a little different from the Leader's Guide. Ryan Stickney is running the Cub Scout Day Camp, and we kind of had to break it apart and start it up again so he could add his group. So if everybody, you can do it now, you can do it when you arrive. You want to text the number 81010 and then text at TVSR week 3. And we use the Remind system to give all our unit leaders quick updates if we have to tell somebody quickly if something changes. And just a way to, to get reminders out. Don't forget this, don't forget that. And it worked great last year. I think our biggest critique was we didn't use it enough to remind everybody. So we're going to work on that this year. All right. All right, so our check-in procedure. So check-in went really well. As you all know, it rained really, really hard yesterday. So it was pretty torrentially downpouring. But we got everybody in and everybody dried out. So it was a great first day, despite the weather. So the check-in window at Treasure Valley is 11:30 to 1 p.m. So this means we hope that your unit can arrive during this time frame. And I know most of you ended up coming closer to the beginning, and that's fine. The sooner we can get through check-in, the better. So unless you have to wait to get here till 1, I wouldn't, just try to get here nice and early. So you're not going to come in the main entrance of Treasure Valley. You're going to head past that down the road a bit, and you're going to see Hunter Fran, our shooting sports director, directing you into our Jamboree field. It's a big open field, and your unit will proceed to go in. Once you have everybody in your unit accounted for, leaders and scouts who are going to participate, your troop guide will start you on the check-in path through camp. So your first stop is going to be, so we're going to take photos, and I think we're changing something up. We ended up taking photos in the East Lodge with the rain yesterday, and I think we're going to end up taking them there. For the rest of the time. The lighting was really good and how they looked. So I think we're going to move that. So that will be either right before or after your check into the dining hall. So the photos are $12. Unit leaders, the photo form is on our quick links on our website. You just need to submit one form. You can pay, you can collect the money from your scouts and give us one check or hand us a bunch of cash and checks, whatever's easiest to do. We just need one order form per troop. You can wear whatever you want in the unit photo. You can wear your Class A. You can wear, if you have a special Class B that you want to wear, you're welcome to do so. So we're going to move that. So it's really, really important that we get everybody to the med check. So med checks this year are going to be at the Health Lodge, and that's just under our welcome gate. And you want to take a left, and our med team will be at the Health Lodge. And at that point, so it really would be good if all of your leaders and scouts proceeded on foot to the Health Lodge together, got everybody checked in, and then the leaders can proceed to go get the vehicles, and you can start bringing your vehicles into the camp. We ask that you just run 2 vehicles at a time if you have multiple, because there's going to be a lot of vehicles in camp that day. So so that is that. So and then once you get it in there, you can join your scouts wherever they may be on the check-in process. So Jay, do you want to give us some details about the med check they're going to encounter at the Health Lodge?
Absolutely. So to make the process as painless as possible, and we can move everybody through, if you haven't already sent your paperwork in, you can try and get it to the Counseling Service Center. I would not mail it at this point. It'd have to be dropped off in person. If you don't have it ready, just bring it with you, but make sure that you have A, B, C all filled out, signed by an actual doctor would be great. For the meds, all in one bag for each scout, so no giant bag of troop meds, and it has to be the exact amount of pills for the week. So say if they're taking Claritin every night, we're going to need 7 pills. We don't need the entire box of Claritin because we just end up throwing it away. And one of the big things, all the leaders need to be present with your scouts while doing check-in. So one leader can't be at the site unloading the trailer. You all have to be at MedCheck together as one unit. This way it moves faster. We get everyone through in one time.
Okay.
Any other questions? So, all right, we'll get them at the end if you put them in the chat. I know Cam's running those right now.
Yes, so, and Cam's going to be answering questions in the chat, and we can also go over stuff at the end. Okay, so you've come in, you're parked, your guide has you, and you've headed down to the med check station. Next in line for you is the kitchen. So you're going to walk on down the road, and your guide will be taking you, talking all about the great stuff you're going to do at camp. You're going to hit the East Lodge, and Gary, our kitchen manager, is going to give you the dining hall talk, and he's going to talk about food allergies, dietary restrictions. If any of your scouts have food restrictions and dietary or allergies, it's important that they go up and talk to him themselves. They can bring a unit leader along, if it's something, really special, you want to talk to him. And all this information will be on the med form. We just want to make sure that you tell Gary as well, so he kind of knows in advance what's coming for the week. There could possibly be baked treats there for you when you arrive. So it's a good time down at the kitchen. After he gets done talking to you, they're going to be the dining hall talk, where all the waiters where your scouts will learn how to be waiters during the week. And they will tell you how the dining hall works under the big top tent. And so that way you're all up to date on. We have a couple new procedures this year. Things have been going really well. We had a great staff week. Things are going well this week. The food has been really good. So we're excited for you, to enjoy the food in the kitchen. All right. So next, after you're done that, you will head on down to your PFD checks. All scouts and adults that are going to be using the waterfront in any way, shape, or form so everyone's going to get that. So they'll know what size life jacket to grab when they're using the waterfront for the week. And then finally, the scouts will head on over to the waterfront for their swim test. Now, this is an important note. Please be sure. So you're not going to be headed into the site first. So it's really important that you have all the meds that you need to have. I don't know if you want to give it to one unit leader to hold all the meds that are going to be handed over to the med team. A lot of times they get forgotten in trunks, and that's not where we want them to be. So we want to make sure that somebody has them all, and they can be handed right over quickly and easily. Same thing with, getting ready for the swim checks. Make sure that they have a bathing suit on the bottom, and have a towel in their backpack, so they'll be able to change, swim, and then get dry and head on back to the campsite. Okay, Cam? So now you're in your campsite. Units that will be sharing tents, and I'm finalizing your week campsite assignments. I keep getting new updates with new numbers, and it can throw things off. So I will be sending those out to you as soon as I can. But as for the tents, all the youth must stay in the canvas tents. A lot of people ask me about hammocks. Hammocks are not allowed. Adults can stay in hammocks, but not the youth. And remember the two-year age difference. Youth cannot bunk together if there's more than 2-year age difference. So adults staying overnight must be registered with the BSA, YPT, and quarried and sorried. So this is a new national policy. Every single person staying overnight must be a registered leader. It doesn't matter how long you're staying, you must be a registered leader. And I know you've all probably done quarry checks, background checks, all ready to be a unit leader. But unfortunately, the state of Massachusetts, because now, according to them, you're an employee of the camp because you're here with campers, and a fresh quarry sorry must be run. So that's why I've been asking to send them along. What's worked out really good with a lot of units is they've either been mailing or dropping off their health forms and including their quarry sorry forms there. So that's a really great way to do it. And if you have, say, the majority of your med forms, send them in with your quarries and sorries. Do not wait. If you've got a couple of stragglers, bring them in on that day, and we'll be able to check them that day. So that would be really good. All right. And again, our quarry sorry form is found on our website under the quick links. We want to remind everybody, young ladies and young men, appropriate swimwear for water sports. No Speedos and no bikinis. We want to make sure that everyone is dressed for water activities. And, you know, a tankini is fine. A modest tankini, that's fine. That's not a problem. But anything else, you'll be asked to put a t-shirt on over it. So just be ready for that. Okay. All right. So as many of you know, as unit camp contacts, I sent out an email with all the policies listed: the refund policy, the health and safety, the discipline, and the meningococcal form. So these are all forms that the state of Massachusetts wants to make sure that you send to all of your parents. And it really is a great idea. You know, we have them on our website, and I'm sure you've seen them as a unit leader as you're going to look for information. But it's really, really important that the parents know the refund policy and what's going on with all the others, so they can see it. You know, a lot of times, you know, last summer, there was a camper that went home because they were homesick, and then the next day, well, they said they were homesick, and then they came in the next day and said, well, that their back hurt, and so they had to leave. And unfortunately, if you leave on your own accord without it being a medical, you know, condition, we can't give a refund. You know, we want all the kids to stay. I know it's hard, but we want them all to stay. So just make sure that if you just pass this along to the parents and they can read everything, I think it'll save us a lot in the long run. So I appreciate you doing that. Let's see. Visitors and participants. Yes, so we are happy to have visitors, but it's really, really important that when your visitors come, they check into the McGee building. And that is the building straight down Treasure Valley Main Road, the paved road. You can't miss it. It's before you head into the East Camp. And we have a different sign out and sign in procedure. So this year, we're going to have a visitor login and out book, and then we're going to have a residential login and out book. And it's going to make this much easier for our clerk to mind who is in and out of camp, especially if we have an emergency procedure. And she has to check how many are on your roster, how many are on the roster versus how many you're telling her are here. And that's if one of your scouts has to leave for a driving lesson or for a dental appointment. So we want to make sure that they sign out in the residential form on your page, and we can keep track of who's coming and going much better. If you have a visitor coming, you know, 1 or 2, you don't need to notify us, and they can just come in and they can pay Mara at the front desk. It's $10 for meals. And you can pay her there, and you can head on down and you can have a meal while you're here at the property. Okay, Cam. All right, so our special programs are happening. It's pretty exciting. So our ATV instructor, Kelly Muniz, She has just run through the first course with some of our admin, and they had a great time. We only have a few, we don't have that many this week that are signed up for it, which gives us the luxury of waiting till the weather's good, you know, to decide when to run it. So basically, so I have emailed all the parents of the participants, letting them know, make sure they have their waivers. There's a waiver and a hold harmless agreement. The scouts have to come with the certificate that they did the online training. They must come with the appropriate equipment, long pants, long sleeve shirt, jacket, boots that cover ankles, and gloves with a grip, like a mechanic glove or something like that. But it's really, really important that the e-course must be completed prior to camp. It's important information. We need the scouts to be paying attention to it. You know, they need to pass it. So if they don't have it when they come, they will not be able to participate in the course. So it's really, really important. You know, that's why we've been sending information out to the parents and the leaders who registered to make sure that they have all the information. But it's going to be a really cool program. Cam, did you just take the training today?
I did. It was a blast.
Yep, it was, I think, even more fun than they thought it was going to be. So, you know, we look forward to your scouts enjoying that. And so how it's going to run is, so they can register for badges throughout that time frame. So the ATV runs from 1 to 5 right before dinner. It'll probably be tied up around 4:30. It'll be over around there. And so if they want to take badges in the afternoon, because the ATV program for your scout, it's only a one-day program offered from 1 to 5. So it's completely all in one day. So that way your scouts can get partials and other badges in the afternoon. They'll just be missing the one day. Now I send the list of participants to our course director, and then she will let you know what day, and it's definitely probably not going to be Mondays. So you can have your scouts go to their merit badges if they plan them in the afternoon, and then they can go and miss a day, but still get a partial for the badges that afternoon. All right, so we have cowboy action shooting up and going. And the requirements for this is no pre-sign up or anything. You have to be 14 years old, and you have to be sure that the parents submit the cowboy action shooting waiver. Please include it with your med form. One more thing to add to that large group of documents. And then at check-in, the nurses are going to give the participants a different color wristband. So that way our shooting sports staff will know that they're allowed to take the course, to participate in the activity. And we're even going to try to get the leaders up there to shoot in the morning. So at some point, so, you know, you all will have a chance to give give it a shot. All right, so today we had our drone program, so kind of excited about this. Unfortunately, due to the cost of the drones, you know, we're limited to, we have 4 drones, and I believe your week, they are still open for signups, and we're going to do it as a buddy system. So we have 4 drones, so we can take 8 participants. Right now, we're going to run it 1 night a week. I know it's not a lot. It's just, it's a more difficult program to administer. We have our volunteer instructor, and he's going to run them in buddy pairs. And we went over it today, and they're really cool drones, and I think the kids are going to have a good time. If we can, and I have more volunteers, which I'm fairly certain that I will, we're going to open it up to another evening as well. He's thinking it's going to probably take an hour and a half. So if scouts are interested in, you know, signing up for that, we can do a quick sign up. After that, we can open it up. But for right now, it's going to be just the 1 night definite. All right, horsemanship merit badge. So again, I emailed all the participants, and as we get more signing up, our clerk will email them the welcome email. And it's a reminder that, you know, they have to wear long pants, 1-inch heel boots, and gloves. And I'm going to emphasize, if you have any scouts that are taking this, I would not send them out to spend a lot of money on boots for this program, only because it is, they're only going to be on the horse the 1 day. So it's a lot about the husbandry of it. First, they start talking about it, then they move into the grooming, you know, and all the other things to take care of a horse. And on the final day, they get on the horse. So if you can just borrow boots, I would highly recommend that. Okay. All right. So now I'm turning it over to Cam.
Thank you, Kelly. So hi, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to join us for this meeting. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cam Ganong. This is my second year as the program director, 7th year on camp staff here at Treasure Valley. So first of all, merit badge registration. So I've been in contact with most of you regarding merit badges and signing your scouts up for the badges that they want to take. So confirmations of the merit badges will be sent out this week. I'm just waiting on a couple of troops merit badge forms in order for me to be able to send out those confirmations. So I am still missing the registration forms from troop 919, 142, 141, and troop 1. So if the troops could get them to me as soon as possible, I can get those confirmations out as soon as I do. And if you could please share them or email them to program@tvsrbsa.org, that would be wonderful. Otherwise, you can share them with Kelly and she can share them with me. That just eliminates that step. So that would be great. So blue cards. Unlike last year, for those units who are returning, we're going to be running blue cards a little differently. So blue cards will be collected by all of our area directors, signed, and then they'll be turned into McGee, where we will sort through them into different troops, and then we will be handing them out on Saturday morning to all of the units. This just eliminates any chances that your scouts are losing them on their way back to you, as it always happens. And it was just such a hassle last year. We figured this is the easiest way. So this is unless otherwise specified. So if your troop wants to leave on Friday night, just let me know ahead of time and we'll put a rush on your unit's blue cards and we can get them to you early. So yeah, so the blue cards will be given out with all of your med forms, the leader gifts, and all of your other checkout materials on Saturday morning. And just a reminder, archery was moved to blocks 1 and 2. I know in the original form that was sent out, it was 4 and 5, but it is blocks 1 and 2. And while I'm talking about merit badges, for those units who have not sent it in yet, and for those units who are looking to make changes, I just wanted to make a note that there are a couple of badges that are completely full, and some of your scouts may be put into their alternatives if they have selected these, just because of the capacities of the class. So that is fishing, rifle, robotics, life-saving, swimming in block 3, welding, and small boat sailing. And most of the scouts who did choose those are going to get into those badges. I would say we just can't fit any more into it. So most of your scouts that have selected their badges right now are going to get every single badge that they selected. All right, so the OA call out ceremony. So this year we're moving it to Friday evening during the closing flag ceremony at 4:45 before dinner. Parents are allowed to attend. They just need to check in at McGee. Unlike last year, we won't be recording this. So it won't be posted online, and that's due to the limited amount of views that the videos were getting last year. We actually have the Catamount Lodge chief on staff. So Nick Hunter, he's also one of our commissioners. He's going to be at all of the leader meetings and confirming the names of those scouts that are in your units that you want to be recognized and that need to be called out before their induction into the Order of the Arrow. Also, if you are an out of council unit, you still can get called out, or your scouts still can get called out. We just need to know ahead of time the names of the scouts, as well as you need to get the permission from your home council that we can do that for you. But we definitely have that as an option because we want to recognize any and all scouts who have been selected for the OA. Your weekly schedule. So please refer to your site binders that you'll arrive when you get here and the online TVSR mobile app for the correct schedule. I know there were some minor recent updates, and that was the game show that is now Are You Smarter Than a Staff Member? So we're so excited to be actually running that in half an hour down here, Treasure Valley. And the McGee Day Games is now George McGee's Space Race. So just updates to the names, no updates to the schedule. That's that. On Tuesday night, one of the admin's favorite evening programs, and hopefully one of yours, is the Scoutmaster Dutch Oven Cook-Off down at Scoutcraft. So this is really our way to see your skills in cooking in a Dutch oven. This year's theme is dessert, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. We supply the Dutch ovens, we supply the charcoal briquettes. You just need to bring the food, and we have a Walmart very close by to camp, so you can go there to get the supplies that you need for that. Any questions? So I'm gonna be in the chat reading some of the questions. All right.
Do you want us to put the questions in the chat, or do you want us to ask the questions?
If you could put it in the chat, I'm just gonna
Sure.
start at the top for now, but thank you. Kelly, are you there?
I am.
All right. Is Treasure Valley doing the registered leader check, or is the troop responsible for providing a scout book roster?
So I believe it should say on the Google, if you could put the scouts number, the BSA number on the roster, that would be great.
Going along with Corey story forms, is it okay if they arrive on Sunday with the Corey stories?
I mean, it's not the best. I really would like to have them a week before, so we can run them, right? So the whole thing is to make sure that, and I know most of you have already passed all this because you're registered leaders, but even if you could put your forms like in the mail and just send them off to me at my attention to Heart of New England Council, that would be ideal. And just, it only takes a short amount of time to run them, but if they came in even just a week before, it would be very helpful.
And can those be electronic copies, or do you want them in paper?
I mean, so a lot of people have been emailing them to me. Some people don't feel comfortable. I've gotten a lot in the mail and dropped off with med forms. So it's really up to you.
Thank you. Another question. I thought the national change requiring leader registration for one overnight wasn't taking effect until September. Has this been moved up?
Yes, so I've been on all the national pre-camp meetings, and everybody has to be a registered member of the BSA to stay overnight.
Oh, blue cards. So yes, I forgot to mention every area in camp will have blue cards. So you can bring your own blue cards, it's completely up to you. But every area will be providing them to all of the scouts. Either way works. So it's completely up to you.
And Cam, before you go on to the next question, I want to go back about the registered members, right? So, if anybody staying overnight needs to be a registered member, we do have units that have expressed, that they rely on parents to come in and help, ease the burden, and they're not registered. And I know it's unfortunate, but at this time of the year, the registration fee is prorated. So it's cut in half, from what it was. And it doesn't take very long just to fill out an adult application, and send it into council. Parents just have to get on. They just need to take the YPT, which, we all know and love. It doesn't take too long. And once they have the YPT, they can just register them. So I know a lot of people feel that it's, inconvenient, and in the end, we want everybody, the safety of our children is the most important, right? So we want everybody to be registered if they're spending, and even in your units, if you have parents that are going on overnights and spending an extraordinary amount of time with your youth, they should be registered. It's just good practice.
So I'm not concerned about filling out the paperwork, but I am concerned about the timing of getting in a registration process with our council. It often takes sometimes multiple months before we get a response back.
Okay.
And they have completed the query stories. We've already, we've sent those into you, and they're all doing the YPT, but we told them if they were only coming for one night, that they wouldn't have to register. So if we're gonna have to do that now, is it okay if they're in process?
Yeah, if they're in process, and the YPT is most important, the YPT and the Corey story. So if you've got it in process, we just want to make sure that, we're checking off all the boxes. So yes, if you tell me that it's in process and at minimum, that the YPT is completed and we've got a Corey story form, we're going to call it good to go.
Okay, thank you.
Are you all set with that question, Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Yes, the archery time was changed for every single week of camp. That was due to scheduling conflicts with ATV, since we have the same instructor for both archery and ATV is in the afternoon. When can we preview blue cards with our scouts? So blue cards, as well as all of your checkout materials, should be ready for you right at breakfast on Saturday morning. So you can preview them anytime between when you get to breakfast and when you head out. The admin will all be here until all of you leave camp, so you can come talk to us if there are any issues there.
Yeah, and most units, leave camp by say 10 o'clock. If you come and have breakfast and you want to have a small court of honor ceremony, or you want to do something special that morning, we're not going to rush you right out of there. We just, by 10 o'clock, 10:30, you can stay. So you'll have plenty of time to review the blue cards.
Kelly, can you arrive earlier than 11:30?
You can, but the guides will not be ready. So you are welcome to if you arrive there early, you're going to be able to get in, right? So you can start mobilizing. So if you want to get there early, that's up to you. So basically our staff comes in, and we have them go through their cleaning protocol, the shower house and all of that. And then they meet back and we feed them a quick lunch before they head up to you. So yes, so if you're traveling and you arrive a half an hour ahead of schedule, you'll be fine. You can just head right into Jambo Field.
Yeah, I would just like to emphasize that the staff won't be up there until like exactly 11:30, because it's a really tight schedule in the morning. So if you do arrive there early, they won't be up there until 11:30. And is there a digital option for photos?
I don't think so. So Brendan is very old school. I can ask him about it. And I know that, you can get reprints and anything. If you need to reach out through him, the information's on the form. But at this moment in time, he prints them up. So they're in nice frames. And you'll have your instant keepsake, because come on, we all know we take the photos and nothing happens with them. We have a million great photos and I never see them. So this way you'll actually have a really great souvenir. They'll have their picture, their patch, and anything else they pick up from camp. So it'll be nice to leave camp with that memento.
The theme, yes. Sorry, I forgot to touch upon this. So the theme is Lunar Valley. So we're so excited to give you a program that's out of this world. So
Camo.
all of our program areas are really tapping into this year's theme and preparing to really just show off space within the valley. You'll see in our show, it's going to be a bit interactive throughout the week with your scouts. If you were here last year with the Survivor theme, we had the hidden immunity idols. This year's theme, in the show, you'll see we have our spaceship crashes, and all of your scouts have to help us find the parts of the spaceship throughout the week. So I'm hiding these little rocket ships around camp, and it's going to be a camp-wide effort to help us repair our ship for the end of the week campfire. Other than that, we are having tons of different activities that are space themed. The areas are all decked out in lunar decorations. So we're definitely looking forward to really tapping into the theme. The unit development period. So I think you're talking about like unit time and like site time. So that's really just a free time for you to go back to your site and do different activities with your unit, or just chill and relax. That time is completely up to you. If you would like, you can definitely go to some of our areas like the waterfront and ask them if you could schedule like a troop swim or something like that during that time. But that time is really for you to go back to your sites and hang out with your scouts. Kelly, will Paul Messier be staying on in High Mesa again? If so, I'm gonna need to hear if he's
Hi, Mesa.
Hi, Mesa.
He's
No.
still going.
Paul, I have not solidified your tent assignment yet, so no, it will be determined to be TBD. So I don't want to take you out, but I got to maneuver a lot of units around. And it's funny because week 2 has been our biggest week traditionally, and your week is shaping up to be bigger than week 2 at this point. So, you know, it's definitely equal. So how I fit all of you into the pieces of the campsite puzzle is a great joy for me. I love it. And I want to make sure that everybody's comfortable. And I want you to know, if you're sharing a site, I do take the time and I literally count out, you know, tents and sites, taking in boys and girls to make sure that when you arrive, everybody fits into a spot. And if you're sharing a site, you're not duking it out with the other troop about where to go. So, so we really try to take that into consideration, because you just want to move into your site and kind of just know, okay, this is our area, this is their area. So.
For unit work projects and conservation work, you can definitely schedule some of those projects with either our commissioners or the ranger, although you'll probably have an easier time getting a hold of our commissioners, since they'll be at all of our leader meetings in the mornings. So they'll have a list, or they'll be able to get you a list of different projects that you can do either around camp or in your site. So that's definitely a question for them during the leader meetings every morning. Also, I just wanted to make a note that since Electech, our brand new STEM area, is in Mohegan, the Scoutmaster Lounge has moved, and now it's on the Pine Point side of the trading post. And our Treasure Valley alumni and sort of workforce, the Friends at Treasure Valley, they just built a brand new staircase that goes up to that area. And we just decked it out today. So that'll be a good resource for all of you to have downtime. And our trading post is actually going to be stocking it with coffee and tea throughout the day. So you'll be able to have that as a resource.
I introduced our business manager to a tea kettle, an electric tea kettle, and they were like shocked. They're like, what is this? Never saw it before. So yeah, so now we have it stocked with green tea, regular tea. You can bring your own tea bags. There will be water and tea for you to have there along with coffee. Yeah, and so on that note, talking about the trading post, we have some exciting items in there for you. We have rebranded all our clothes just to shake things up. So the last 2 years, it was pretty much the same logo with different colors. We've updated it. We used the new company, and I have to say we're really happy. The quality, I actually got to go to the company and feel and see. There we go, Cam. So really cool colors, excellent fabric. I got to feel everything, so I knew what I was going to order ahead of time. We got some great hats. Cam, do you have a hat in there?
I don't, unfortunately.
You don't. I know. I left my hat somewhere else. I don't know where it is, but yeah, so we have a lot of cool merchandise. It is stocked with drinks and treats, all kinds of candy. I think we literally just put in our biggest candy order in the history of Treasure Valley, because we're also stocking our Cub Scout trading post. So we got a lot of candy on the property right now. So. And on that, I'm going to talk about the trading cards, not trading cards, the postcards. So online, it's a quick link on the website. We have the trading post. And if you want, you can go on and you can pre-order a preloaded card for your scouts. And I think it's in increments of 10 and $25. So you can go ahead and purchase that. Now that we're in the swing of things, we're going to be downloading it daily. Our clerk is going to go on, see anybody new, and send it to Tyler so he can get them going, because I know, parents can go on anytime. So once a day we'll be checking that. And of course, if you do it ahead of time and your scout goes in, Tyler will just call up to us and we'll say yes, it's all prepaid. So they'll have it on the postcard, so they'll have to manage that. Otherwise they take cash. Some scouts have their parents' credit cards, so that does happen. So that's up to all of you. But we'll take any money that you want to give us. We are also, I have been behind schedule, but it will be up for your week if your parents want to send a care package. So basically, they can choose a package. Tyler and I decided, so it's going to be a t-shirt, a drink, and a snack. And the other option is 3 snacks and a drink. So you can surprise your scout and pick something and send them that, and the trading post will put it all together. You just give us the shirt size and we're going to get them the shirt and put it in the package. So we're kind of excited to offer that this year, and we'll see how it goes. So.
Any other questions? You can just unmute and ask it if you'd like.
Hi, this is Tom Johnson from 382. Sorry, I couldn't put notes in the chat. It wasn't allowing me to. But when are the scouts expected to wear their Class A's to what events throughout the week?
Yeah, so scouts are encouraged to wear their Class A's for the photos when they come in, as well as our opening flag ceremony on day 1 and dinner. And throughout the week, generally, scouts wear their Class A's for both dinner and the closing flag ceremonies every night, and then our closing flags at the end of the week. So basically at night for dinner and flags is generally the Class A period. If it is too hot, we'll send out reminds saying that Class A's need not be worn just because it's too hot.
Sometimes it's just too hot, so.
Thank you. That's helpful. So we don't have to worry about opening flag in the morning before breakfast, right?
No.
No.
Okay. Super
Generally
helpful.
for
Thank
opening
you.
flags, for morning flags, units usually bring down their unit flags and the American flag, but they don't wear their Class A's.
Thank you. And one last question. I know you said the overnight leaders have to be registered or in process of registering. What about day leaders? We switch off in usually 12-hour shifts in our unit.
I mean, if you're coming in for the day, I mean, and I'm going to tell you, I'll have people argue it both ways. If you need somebody to come in and cover, if they're going to be there for an extensive amount of time, have them take the YPT, just for the safety of it all. If it's in process, if they're going to be on, so if they're coming in for more than a few hours and they're coming in multiple days a week, just add them to the roster and just put a query on them just so we can cover everyone for that. So,
Yeah, well, we've submitted queries and stories for everybody who's going to be coming into camp.
all right, so perfect. Yeah, so if you just have a parent and they haven't, just have them take the YPT and just have it on them. So,
Excellent. Thank you.
I know there's a
And then
lot
on
of
the-
rules to this scout camp thing. I'm telling you, like I am bogged down, right? So everybody's like, I've been way behind on my emails and I can't get anything done because I'm under a mound of hiring paperwork for my 70-person staff, the Corys, the Sories, everything else. So it's the paperwork. It's killing me, people. It's like crazy.
So,
But I want you to know,
so-
I am working on next year to have our camp health form digitalized because there is a platform approved by the BSA and I'm going to push the heck out of it at the end of the summer. It's something that we need to do. You know, we're supposed to be conservation minded and we are killing a million trees with our health forms and I literally cannot take it. So we have a new VP of program who's very interested in learning about it on the board and I'm going to push the heck out of it. So I think it's going to be a really great resource and the platform is so amazing. Like I can't even tell you, you'll get too excited about it if it doesn't happen. Like the unit leaders can literally see who hasn't submitted what. They can, you know, your parents can start completing it and it'll say the percentage wise. So I'm going to push for it. So.
The cool thing about digital platforms is usually, because my daughter goes to a different camp as well, that does this. And what you do is you go into last year's documents and you just review and confirm. And it's boom,
Isn't that
boom,
great?
boom. It's like the first year feels like it takes you forever to do because you're scanning and uploading. But every year after that, it's like a 15-minute process and it's
Yeah.
done. It's beautiful.
know.
I love
I
it.
really want to move it all into into our century here with our digitalness. So we have to. So
That'd be fabulous. We'd
Yes.
love that.
yes, I'm working on it.
Greg,
Are there
did you
any
have a
other
question?
questions?
I was just gonna say, so we have alternates as well who we don't have, who we have sent in their queries just in case.
Mhm.
But that should we try to get them to register as well? I mean, a lot of them are not active parents in the troop. They weren't planning to come, but you know, we put them on notice like, hey, if a bunch of us get sick last minute and we need people to drive up. But we are having them do YPT and Corey already.
Yeah.
Because that was for everyone who signed up, even as potential, like as alternates.
Yeah.
Should we try to get them registered as well?
I mean, if you can, great. If it's going to run into the timing, because I know our registrar right now can't turn anything around in 24 hours because she is slammed with, you know, the 2 camps, you know, the regular customers. So I get it. She's under a lot of paperwork as well. So
Yeah, and
Yep.
we're in a different council and it's kind of the same.
yeah. So no, we're willing to work with you, you know, do your best, you know, make sure that, you know, everyone is safe and we'll be good.
Thank you.
Kelly,
Any
can you, this is Deb Karkin from 131. Can you stay on for like 5 minutes at the end so I can talk to you about Dave's Eagle Court of Honor?
Sure. Yeah, we can definitely do that. So.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, so you know, this is our 3rd year running this camp, and I got to tell you, 3rd year is a charm. I mean, we have nearly all the returning staff. We have some new staff members who parents may or may not be on this call right now, who are doing great, Mr. Moore. But the majority of the staff, this is their 3rd year, and you can tell, and the continuity really makes a difference in running the program. I mean, they just know what to do at this point, you know, and we have our new staff members and, you know, sometimes they look like deer in the headlights, but we coach them along and, you know, they're doing really well. And there's a lot of enthusiasm in this group, and I think you're going to have a really great time with them. So do you have anything to add to that, Cam?
No, absolutely. I agree with everything you said. And like I said, thank you so much for coming out tonight and joining this meeting. We're looking forward to having each and every single one of you and your scouts at camp in 2 weeks. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to either Kelly or I. I'll be reaching out to you shortly with your confirmations within the next week, hopefully. But you should have it ahead of time. Yeah, we are absolutely excited. So we can't wait to have you here.
Yes. And I am behind on emails and I apologize. I'm working on it.
So since I sent you an email, I'll ask while I'm here.
Okay.
We're gonna have the majority of our paperwork all in and done, and we're actually not till week 5. But
Okay.
is it possible for me to drive out sometime this week and drop it off? And when is the best
Yes.
days and times to do that?
So, if you can come out anytime. So we're here now on the
Okay.
property all the time. So the clerk is in McGee beginning around 9:15. And then she's here until probably about 7 o'clock at night. But there is always somebody here on the property. So whenever you can get out and you come in, even if she is not at McGee, I still want you to sign in, take a visitor's pass that's there, and find a staff member, and they will radio me and we will come and meet you, because we want to make it as easy as possible. We're here 24 hours, so you should be able to come, whenever. But McGee is open. And yeah, come out, visit. If you, are new to camp, I can give you a tour. If you give me a heads up when you're coming, I can make plans for it. So you can see your campsite. And everything like that. I love giving tours. It's the best part of my day. So
Great, thank you. It'll probably be Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure which. Probably Thursday, actually.
Yep. So McGee, I am in residence at McGee this year, as for the first time. I've decided to stay here. So we are here pretty late with our meetings, until probably 11 or 12, although I doubt any of you are going to come out at that time. But yes, but the building is locked from like 11 o'clock till the morning when I open it around 6:30. So.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming tonight. If you have any final questions, please stay on. But for everyone else, we can't wait to see you in 2 weeks. So thank you so much.
All right. Looking forward to a great time. We're ready.
Thank you so much for all you guys.